of Nathan, and I understand we didn't get to them, but all of Nathan DeBruin's pictures that he brought in on his own on these prints are enlarged digital images. If the defense is now trying to argue that enlarged digital images are not reliable, I mean, it's first of all hypocritical, but second of all, this is just not the age we're in. We are in an age where software is able to enlarge and do things, and yes, this image, we believe, to Mr. Rittenhouse's testimony, does show him pointing his gun at individuals just before Mr. Rosenbaum chases him. The defense, this is clear, the drone video, we pointed it out in the drone video, the defendant denied it. This is an enlargement of that drone video so that we can see a better picture of it. This whole canard of adding pixels and changing color is a dishonest argument, and I believe the defense knows that. Their expert used a very similar software to zoom in and edit and change things, because if these things are reliable, and they are reliable, and that this is what is used by by forensic imaging, forensic scientists, it's the industry standard. So if we're going to say that no technology can be brought in, no enlarged images can ever be brought in, that is a ridiculous standard, and we've heard from two experts now about how these algorithms are used and what they do, and simply because this evidence may be not beneficial to their client, and in fact show their client is lying, they're stupid at this level to try and keep it out. And to me, I think making a dishonest argument based on a number of forensic scientists that have emailed me to discuss this issue with the Apple zooming, which I think was also a very similarly, I don't want to say dishonest, but inaccurate argument. Simply trying to keep out these enlarged or cleaned up images that show that their client is lying. He pointed a gun before Joseph Rosenbaum chased him. And this is a rebuttal. This is rebuttal evidence. This is based on someone trained in this area who uses software that is certified in this area. He's trained in this area. This is what these forensic image specialists do. And it's peer-reviewed by other forensic images, which, frankly, Dr. Black's was not. And so this is actually a much higher standard than the evidence that Dr. Black got in. I understand we didn't object. But for them to have an expert come in, use a very similar software to do similar things, and then try to pretend this is all voodoo magic is preposterous. And
Wait a minute. A couple of things. Number one, you know, this happens sometimes. Lawyers sit there during the trial and all kinds of stuff comes in and out, and there's no objection raised. And then when there is an objection raised, the party says, well, this went on before in the trial and it was admitted. And I think, okay, but there wasn't an objection. So it was never scrutinized by the court. It just came in. That's number one. Number two, you're the proponent of the evidence. You have the burden of proof. They don't have to disprove the accuracy of it. You have to prove it. Number three, the witness was just here, and when he's asked, what does it depict in terms of whether the color is going to change or to what color, he says, I don't know. Now, this is the person who is providing your information to support your claim that it is an accurate depiction. I will tell you that I totally agree with your comment about my lack of familiarity with these concepts. Although logic, I have some logical skills, and when you start adding, if I take this piece of paper and I start drawing squares on it, and and then I decide I'm going to put it on a bigger piece of paper, and I want to expand them, but I do it by creating even more squares, and I don't know what's going to go into those other squares. I mean, this is difficult a concept for me, yes.
I understand.
You know, the fact that I can blow something up on my phone and it's accurate on my phone doesn't mean that the particular program used by the crime lab is doing an accurate job of increasing the size of the image.
Well, this is an accredited lab using software
What does that mean to me? What does that mean to me? What does peer reviewed mean to me? If you haven't presented any evidence as to the science or as to the algorithm that's involved,
Judge,
well, you know, no, I want to see the images.
okay.
Let's take a look. Not that my naked eye is going to be necessarily capable of making the distinction that I need to make, but